Okay, hi. This is all about concept 1, so I'm glad you're here. We'll see if we can get you all figured out. Domain of the points, graphed it right. Domain, I had a student one say that it's Dr. XY. The domain is the X, the range is the Y. So the range is what goes up and down, the domain are kind of what are the inputs. So here what we're really trying to do, this point here is over at 1, 2, 3, 4, -5 comma something. So -5 is the domain. This was at -4. This was at -2. This was at 0 comma -3, but 0 is it. This is at 1. This is at 2, and this is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the, that's the domain. Those are all the X's here. Let's look at this one here. The range, we're talking about the Y's. So the lowest Y we get here is -3. And then we're at -2. And then we're at -1. And then we're at 0. And then we're way up here at 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is all you need to know. You don't need to repeat it. If you noticed here, I had 2 spots that it was at -3. I only said it once. We're just trying to figure out what are the possible outputs when we're talking about range. So let's go ahead and look at the B's. And these letters correspond with the numbers on your quiz. So if you're still needing to redo your quiz, this should help you out as well. So here we're making a sketch of this graph. So there's 2 different approaches that you can take. Since you're here, I'll show you both. The first is that you just make a little XY table and figure out what is the 0 for the X and the 0 for the Y. So if I plug in 0 for X, I get 4, because when I divide by 3, I get 4. If I plug in 0 for Y, I get 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on my Y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my X-axis, done. Now, the next thing I need to do is I do need to graph it. So this is dotted. And then I do need to test to figure out, do I go up or down? Since I didn't move it into the right format of the Y and then everything else, I do need to test it. But testing is easy. I plug in 0, 0 because it's easy. So that goes away, so I end up getting that 0 is less than 12, which is totally true. And so this would be my region of the graph that is the solution. Now, if I did want to move it into the correct format, I would move the 2x over, and then I would divide everything by the 3. Now, since it's dividing by a positive, I don't need to worry about the, there we go. Since I'm dividing by a positive 3, I don't need to switch that sign or anything, so I'm going to leave it like that. 12 over 3 is 4. -2 over 3 is -2 over 3. So here, I graph up at 4, and down to over 3, down to over 3. I still would have gotten my same stuff. Here, the Y is below, but you can always just plug in a point and check to make sure it works. So let's look at this one here. Since both of those numbers goes into 16, I think that we're going to do the XY thing again because it's so awesome. Plug in a 0 for X, you get 4 for Y. Plug a 0 for Y, you get 2 for X. So then we graph it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, dotted. We do need to test, so we're going to plug in 0, 0. We get 0 is less than 16. So yes, the part that has the 0, 0 in it would be our solution. So really, really straightforward when you're using the X and Y intercept method. All right, 1C. So if you're having trouble on that later part of your test, let's look at these. This one here, first we just need to figure out what the solution is. So we're going to go ahead and solve it. I like keeping my x's positive if at all possible, so I'm going to move the x over there, which will become 2x. And I'll move the 4 over there, which is -4, so that's a -2. So x, -1 when I divide both sides by 2. Now this is saying x is smaller than that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it into the left to right, as most of you guys are used to. And then I just need to have all the x's that are less than -1. So this is greater than, because those are all positive. But this is less than 1, this is less than 1, that's like 2 point something, and that is totally less than 1. So all of those are the possible answers of things that are less than 1. All right, letter D, we're just solving. So distribute would be a good idea to everything. Don't make that mistake. You move this over, making it a positive when it moves. And you move this over, making it a negative when it moves. And the x needs to be alone, so 10's hanging out with it. X gives it the boot. You have to undo multiplication with division, so we get negative 150 as our answer. All right, so what do we have going on here? We have House of Hats is facing bankruptcy. In order to pay the lease on his store, he must generate at least $1,600. All right. How does he generate? So he sells men's hats for $60 a piece. He sells women's hats for 15. Oops, I didn't write that very well, did I? Women's hats for $15 a piece. And he just needs to generate at least $1,600. So this would be the equation that we're looking at. And if we sell 17 of the men's hats, we would do 60 times the 7. And I need my calculator. Here we go. Which gives us what? 60 times 7 is 420. And so then I need to subtract that from 1,600. Oops. Which is 81180. And so now I need to figure out how many women's hats I need to buy. Well, they're each going to give me $15 each, so I'm going to divide by 15 to figure out how many I need. And I need to buy I need to sell 78.66. Well, I can't sell 78.66, but I need at least that amount of money. So 79 women's hats are what I need to sell. All right, let's see, 1E, same spiel, same money. Write the inequality. Oh, we already did that, didn't we? So my inequality is 60M plus 50W. Did I do this? Oh wait, why did I say 7? That was supposed to be 17. Just kidding. We all make mistakes, so we use pencil. So if I do 17, which is a totally bigger number, 17 times 60 is a lot bigger. So now, out of my $1,600 that I need, I've already gotten 1,020, so I only need $580 more dollars at 15 bucks a pop. Seriously, what is my problem? At 50 bucks a pop. Oh, at least this is the last video. You don't have to bear with. Okay, so then I have 580 divided by 50. Same spiel, only, correct numbers. So 11.6, which is actually 12 total hats for the same story as I had last time. And oh, I did write the right equation or inequality on that one. Okay, so we have 12 hats. Whew, that was painful.